Let us know. All right. So you'll notice we're in the dark. Electricity has gone off. So we've gone from live broadcasting on Facebook to now we're going to have it recorded and replayed later.
Absolutely. But we don't want to miss out.
No, that's right. And especially we have Fast Doc, and this is really critical. So, jury, please, if you can remember where you were, we're kind of start again. How's that?
Yeah. Back on the services, because I think that's what we were talking about. Let's go back and maybe start with the services that you provide, because I think that is essential for people to know. Hey, I've got this ache or pain or whatever. Let's start with that if you don't care.
What we were talking about is that when I first opened the very first urgent care in Allen with my partners, one of our founding principles is that we wanted to keep people out of the emergency department. Mm-hmm. After a decade and a half of experience working in the ERs, we were caring for many people that got punted to the ER from an urgent care. And those people really should have been treated in the urgent care. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to make sure that we would do everything that we could to care for people and keep them out of the emergency department as much as possible. It's much more cost effective, it saves them money, and quite frankly, it overburdens the emergency room with all of these things that shouldn't be there. Part of the reason that the wait is so long in the emergency department is because there's so many things that are there that they can't turn away because they're there, but they don't need to be there. They could have been taken some other means. So kind of the bottom line is that we wanted to make sure that we provided every service we could. That includes IV services. We do overnight blood work. We have some in-house testing as well for the routine things you would normally get seen for. We have IV antibiotics that we keep on hand. We keep medication, non-narcotic medication for pain and nausea. We can treat migraines with a migraine cocktail. We keep oral medications for first dose of antibiotics. So if you come in and the pharmacy's closed, we can give you your first dose there in the clinic and get your treatment started.
Wonderful.
We do laceration repairs. We try and keep people out of the ER by managing these things and not having a limit on, the length of a laceration or anything like that. So we perform laceration repair in the clinic, and we don't have any limitation on size or length or anything like that. We repair deep wounds. We remove foreign bodies. We do everything that we can to try and keep people out of the emergency department. And here, that's important because the nearest emergency department is 30 miles away.
Yeah.
And, the wait time is 4 to 6 to 8, and I've heard even 12 hours. Mm-hmm. So this is a game changer, I think, for the community to have services like this.
Well, and the very fact that you're over 700 tells you, like you talked about, we definitely had a need. Yeah. And also now you're working with local companies, helping them with their work comp and helping, again, eliminate that problem of someone loading them up and taking them to Springfield and spending a whole day for maybe 5 minutes worth of work, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, some of the injuries are minor. Some of them require laceration repair. Some require x-rays. The the bottom line is that any business that has to take a supervisor out for 4 to 6 or 8 hours is losing them for the entire shift.
Absolutely.
And so we will handle these workers' comp cases. If you need to do pre-employment physicals, we're set up to do that. We can help out with baseline testing. Our goal is to provide a resource for the employers here so that they can attract valuable employees.
Yes.
And talented people to come work at their companies and retain them. Mm-hmm. If there's no healthcare in the community and you want somebody to come work for you at your company and they have a family with kids and those kids can't be seen anywhere without a 30-minute drive, what's the attraction?
Right.
So our goal is that 7 days a week have these walk-in services available, no appointments necessary. You can check in online. You can pre-register at our website. We try and do everything we can to make it easy.
And it's not just companies. Also, you talked about the school, right? You have a program, pilot-type program you're working on with the school?
The school district has a contract with us to provide a certain amount of basic care for their staff. That alleviates claims that are filed against their insurance. So they sort of prepay these services on a contract basis. And I think it's working out really good for the school district and their families that have signed up for this program. The response has been immeasurable. Our goal is to just be as accessible as we can. Mm-hmm. That's really the bottom line.
You told us a funny story earlier. Tell us again about how you actually opened your first urgent care. How's that?
So I'll see if I can shorten it up because it's a bit of a long story. But we had, during the downturn of COVID in 2020, my partners and I were all working in the emergency departments, and the staffing had been cut back because emergency rooms had just been devastated with low census. And so revenue was down, and all these hospitals are suffering, and the contractors that staff the emergency departments are suffering. So as a consequence of that, a bunch of changes took place in our employment, and I ended up opening our first clinic. And I decided I was going to start this business. We were going to do an urgent care in a van, and we were going to drive around and do 10 or 12 visits a day. And we had started the company and got all of my partners together, and about 2 weeks into the process, I was going to work a hospital shift, and I stopped to get my coffee because I'm addicted to coffee like everybody, and I got my coffee and I headed off to go to work, and I missed my entrance to the highway to get on the highway, and I thought, no big deal, I'll just drive up here and we'll go across city streets and we'll get there. And I just happened to glance over, and I look off to the side, and I see an urgent care in the community with the lights out at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, holy smokes, what is this? So I whip into the parking lot, and I look through the door, and there's boxes scattered in there, and there's mail on the floor, and some leaves have blown under the doors, and the chairs are kind of scattered. And I had found a vacant urgent care. And this was a franchised operation. It shut down about 6 months prior because of COVID. They were seeing 2 or 3 patients a day and hemorrhaging money, and they had shut down. And the person who owned the lease on the building, I found him after about 2 or 3 days of searching around. I located the individual. We negotiated a buyout of his lease. We took over his lease. I purchased the interior that they had built out inside the building, and that was our very first brick and mortar urgent care.
Wow.
So I firmly believe it was a divine intervention that I just happened.
On your way to work.
I was getting some coffee and missed my turn, and I look over and here's this building. It was just an amazing opportunity for us, and we were able to reopen that clinic, and it took us a year or so, but we turned it around within the first year, and it's just been a fantastic opportunity for us.
How about going into some detail about how you ended up in Marshfield too then? Because I know this took a collaboration in several years.
Yeah, there's multiple players here. The first conversations took place in about 2022, I think, or maybe 2023. We talked about the need up here. Scott Allen with the health unit had reached out to me. They had been trying to get an urgent care open here for 5 years, and they weren't having any luck. It's hard to get companies to come in, and they look at the community. There's 40,000 people in the county, not huge numbers, and it's just really tough to get people interested in starting something like this. This is a pretty heavy lift to start an urgent care like this. There's a lot of things that need to be done. There's regulatory issues, there's licensing, there's insurance. It's not just an easy operation. The other part of it is that you don't get revenue for a period of months, so you're operating on a really thin budget for several months until you start seeing revenue, because the insurance companies have about a 60 to 90 day revenue cycle to get to pay the clinic. So this is not like just an easy thing, because if it was really easy, it would have already been done. So Scott reached out to me. We talked about it. Quite frankly, I was up to my ears with COVID. He was up to his ears with COVID, and we just kind of put a pin in it. And then last year, things had been settling down with COVID, and Scott reached back out to me and said, hey, it's time to talk about this again. So we did, and we had a stakeholders meeting here. We had a bunch of community leaders and businesses that were here. Tyler Coupling, the fire department was there. The school, Mike Henry from the school district was there. John Black, our representative, was there. Several community development members were there. So it was just a fantastic meeting. They talked about what the needs of the community were. We talked about how we could meet those needs. We had a second stakeholder meeting in, I think, November of last year. And in January, we committed and started the process of opening the clinic. So we've been credentialing with insurances since around March or so. That's a very lengthy process. It's not very easy or quick to get that done. But we are actively credentialing with the insurances in the area, and it's just been a long road. We've been purchasing equipment and doing what we needed to do to get this place open and running.
Well, and we have an open house. And Ryan, I don't know if you can get the open house slide up. Can we make all that won't work? Okay.
No more slides. Well, that's okay.
For this. But what's happening today is at 3 o'clock, we're going to do a ribbon cutting and invite everybody to come out to Fast Stock, do the ribbon cutting. And then from 3:30 until I forget the end time.
About 5 o'clock, yeah.
Going to be an open house with, I'm assuming, some tours and all that going on, right?
Yeah, we'll have people available. If you want to see the clinic, we'll show you around. We have taken over the old Burl Clinic there at the shopping center by Dairy Queen and Taco Bell, and it's a great place for us. It was already outfitted at the clinic. But it's a little bit of a different setup, as it's a counseling clinic versus a medical clinic. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to working with, but we're making it work.
Good.
And we've added some features that we needed to operate as an urgent care, and we've been fixing the place up and painting it, and and we love it there. It's a great location, and it was almost turnkey. Yeah.
And the key was, right off the bat, you guys come in with X-rays, which a lot of times that's what you run into. So, and you were talking like you're using that a couple times a day.
We've done over 100 X-rays at this point.
Oh, wonderful! Wonderful.
Yeah, we had over 100 patients have had X-rays.
And I think, did you mention earlier that there's not many places, if any, in Marshfield that people can get an X-ray if they needed one?
There is no, as my understanding is, there's no other walk-in X-ray services. There are some X-ray machines in Marshfield, but they're by appointment. A physician owns one, I believe. I think we're the only game in town for walk-in X-ray services.
Well, that's wonderful.
What else do we need to know about Fast Stock?
Well, we're here. We're here for the community. Come check us out. You can call if you have questions about insurance or how much it costs. We have some very, what we feel are competitive cash pay rates. We have 3 levels of visit if you don't have insurance. And, based on what your problem is and what we need to do, we can, try and work with people to keep it as a low rate as possible. We have a $129 basic fee, a $189 expanded visit, and a comprehensive visit for $289. That means you can come in and get an X-ray and IV fluids and antibiotics in your IV if you need it, and lab work that's sent out overnight. We can do that for $289. So, for some people that don't have insurance, that's an important option, because they can avoid a $3,000 emergency room bill, by coming to us.
Good.
Well, and I don't know about you, but when I'm not feeling well, I want to be met with a friendly face. And that's what we've experienced.
Yeah, because now we've met 3 of the 4 partners and enjoyed our conversations with all of you. It's been great.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And Debbie Taylor is she's just incredible.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I can't even tell you how valuable she is to our clinic, and she's been doing a great job. And quite frankly, I don't know if we'd be as successful as we are without her. Quite frankly, she's just really taken the bull by the horns.
Yeah. And she's a local. She's been in Marshfield forever. So if you're nervous about walking into a clinic, don't be. First of all, you're going to be met with a friendly face, and just something a little bit more comforting.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Well, obviously, we're not going to go to a commercial break because we don't have internet access. So how about we'll just talk our way through some of our upcoming events? How's that?
Well, that's a great idea.
Because we're going to have to make this work, right?
That's
ad lib.
We can do it.
So again, we have the open house for Fast Stock.
Yes, today at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock ribbon cutting.
Please join us. It'll be a good one. It'll be a fun one.
Everybody should come out and see this place.
Absolutely.
You really should.
Absolutely.
All right. How about Grassroots?
Grassroots is going to have their fall kickoff tomorrow and Saturday, so join them for that. More information, I will post their Facebook link in the description box a bit later today.
And if you've never dealt with them, they're great people as well.
They are wonderful. Get out there and see them. And
they will do the things for you. Over a year ago, I went out and said, hey, I'm looking for some pawpaw trees. This spring, they called me, okay, we've got 4 for you.
Good. Michelle and her team are fantastic.
Yeah, really enjoy working with them.
So moving right along, we are busy.
That's right. There's going to be a lot going on this weekend.
So on Saturday morning at 11:30, join us at Brooks and Family Equine Retirement for their ribbon cutting. But they have an open house that day as well from, is it 11 to 5? Yeah, 11 to 5.
Yes.
So come for the ribbon cutting and take a tour. And you know what? They're going to have snacks.
Well, and the thing is, we saw them when construction was going on for the new barn, so it'd be interesting to see now the finished product.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Wonderful barn. And also, again, businesses get out there. There's opportunities. Learn what they do. There you're going to use horses as therapy.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so it's a great opportunity for the community to get involved. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So we just are plumb full of ribbon cutting.
Yes. Good.
Because we have more coming up that I didn't include just because.
Oh, absolutely. Running out of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Webco Manor will be celebrating the opening of their East Wing, I believe, next Wednesday, the 24th. So join us at 2:00 that day out there at Webco Manor and see what they've got going on. They've got tons of stuff going on.
Well, and we were out there when all this was going on again, as the construction's going on, so you had a chance to see it.
So,
and again, we want to keep out in front of people that eventually we know Webco's going to get a dialysis machine. They're working on that.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yes. So moving right along, they've got snacks too. Southern Bank will be holding a Customer Appreciation Day tomorrow. So get out there and see them.
That's right.
They are going to have snacks. They are going to have nachos and water.
Yeah, I saw the nachos.
So,
that was interesting.
So if you just play it right, you can get free lunch at Southern Bank tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure that, they've got refreshments on Saturday too.
Eat all day. How's that?
That's right. So go see Southern Bank tomorrow and get some nachos and check out. And if they're not your bank, go visit them anyway and find out why they should be your bank.
Yes, that's right.
They are fantastic out there.
And
I went in there a while back and they had never made the connection with me and my mom and dad, and they finally made that connection. And they're like, "Oh, you're Homer's daughter."
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I think it was a good thing. So real quickly, Ryan is telling us that we've got to wrap this up pretty quick.
Hey, well, let's go through real quick the weight loss that Michelle has.
Michelle with Hometown Supplements is doing another weight loss challenge.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm up to it.
No. Well, we're actively involved right now in the step challenge.
We are involved in the step challenge, and I think it's going well. But Michelle at Hometown Supplements is doing a fall weight loss challenge. You can sign up September 25th through October 1st. Just stop by the store. It's located at 1100 Spur Drive, Suite 15. Stop in, see her, get signed up, and join this challenge.
Rachel keeps volunteering us for all these challenges. So we were in the health challenge and we're in a step challenge. And
have we talked about how much food is going to be around Marshfield this weekend?
And you're going to do weight loss.
I don't know about that one. I'm good with the step challenge.
Right.
Hey, I think that we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's thank our sponsors, even though we can't show the slide. Thank you to Marshfield Chevrolet, Las Casuelas, as well as Whispering Oaks Golf Course. We could not do this show without you. Thank you so much. We will see you back here on Thursday, October 2nd. See you then. Bye.
Yeah, we're taking a week off.
Yes, we're taking next week off. Bye.
Thank you.